Hi everybody, as promised, I am back with another video. This time, I'm going to explain to you the third poem from your book First Flight, that is A Tiger in the Zoo. Now, our school has created a YouTube channel. I hope everybody has subscribed to the channel. If not, please do it. There's a lot of hard work that is going towards these videos. I hope you watch the video thoroughly and understand it, and if you like it, please do comment also on it. It will be very appreciated. So without wasting any time, let's move on to the video. Thank you. The poem A Tiger in the Zoo is the third poem from the book First Flight from Standard 10. The poem is written by George Leslie Norris. He was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He is considered as one of the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period. The poem has been written in a total of 5 stanzas. Each stanza is divided into 4 lines. The poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with the tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. The poem provides a contrast in the mood and environment of a tiger when he is in the zoo to that when he is in the forest. Let's move to the explanation of the first stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quite in his quiet rage. In this stanza, the poet describes the appearance of the tiger in the zoo and its daily movements. He says that the tiger moves up and down of his cage. The stripes on its body can be distinguished, even seen from far, as they are darker in color than the rest of its coat. The tiger walks quietly without making a sound because of his smooth velvet pads. The tiger is able to walk only few steps because of the length of its cage. It covers that distance in a few mere steps only. The tiger is full of anger, but it is suppressed because he knows that he is helpless here. Let's discuss the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme is AB, CB, that is cage, rage. Then we have personification. The tiger is personified because the poet refers to him as he. We also have metaphor. The tiger's paws are compared with velvet. We have enjambment. The first sentence continues to the next without the use of any punctuation. We also have imagery. The poet tries to create an image about the tiger. We have consonants. The use of S sound like stalks, his, stripes. Then we also have assonance. The use of vowel sound I, that is in his vivid stripes. And the last one, oxymoron, the use of adjectives opposite in meaning, that is quiet, rage. Now, let's move to the next stanzas of the poem. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. In this stanza, the poet is filled with pity while looking at the imprisoned tiger. The poet imagines another life for the tiger other than the zoo. He says that the poor tiger should have been in his natural habitat, that is in the wild forest. He says that under normal conditions, this tiger would have been moving in the darkness, not in the clear daylights. It would have been lying in the shadows of trees or hiding itself behind long grass so that its prey will not be able to detect its movement. In this way, the tiger would have moved near the water hole where all the animals of the forest come to drink on sunny afternoons. There, near the water hole, he would be waiting for some fat deer to pass that way. Thus, he would be lying there in expectation of a heavy feast. Let's discuss the literary devices. The rhyme scheme again is A, B, C, B, grass and pass. Enjambment, the line continues to the next line. You can see the first line. Then we have the alliteration, the use of sound P at the start of the two words. That is plump, pass. And the last one over here, we have imagery. The poet has tried to create an image of the tiger's activities. The next stanzas of the poem goes like this. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. In this stanza, the poet says that even though he would prefer the tiger to live in the wild, it is not as if it would lose all touch with human civilization. He imagines what the tiger will do in case he failed to find any prey in his natural habitat. He says that the tiger would be growling at the edge of the jungle near some village. He would be showing his white fangs and claws while moving here and there with the intention of scaring all the inhabitants of that village. He would thus become a cause of terror for the villagers. The poet here gives us a hint that if we destroy the natural habitat of tigers, they will be forced to turn to our towns and villages to find their food. The literary devices are the first one, the rhyme scheme. Again, A, B, C, B is the rhyme scheme. Edge and village. Then you can see enjambment has been used here. The first line continues to the next line without punctuation marks. We also have onomatopoeia, the using words which denote sound, like snarling. We have assonance, the use of vowel sound O and I, like should, around houses, bearing, his, white and his. We also have consonants, the use of consonant sound S, for example, his, fangs, his and claws. Let's go on quickly to the next stanzas. But he's locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. The poet stops imaging the tiger's alternative life and returns to its real one. The poet sees the tiger caged in a small concrete cell in the zoo, like a prisoner in the jail. In spite of all his strength, it now lies imprisoned behind the bars. The tiger pays no attention to the visitors who come to see him every day at the zoo. Instead of this, the tiger very slowly and silently moves up and down along the length of the cage without any disturbance in the form of human intervention. The literary devices used are the first one, rhyme scheme, bars and visitors is the ABCB rhyme scheme that has been used over here. We have personification. The tiger is personified again over here as he. We have assonance, the use of vowel sound, E, that is he, locked, concrete and cell. We also have consonants, the use of consonant sounds. And the last one, alliteration, the use of sound B at the start of the two words. The last stanzas goes like this. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. In this stanza, the poet describes about the daily routine of the tiger. The tiger does not rest during the day because of the visitors. Even at night, it stays awake till the very last voice of the zookeeper, locking up and going home, can be heard. After that too, it does not go to sleep. All night it remains disturbed due to the noise of the patrolling cars. He keeps staring at the brilliant stars with his brilliant eyes. Perhaps he is asking heaven why he has been imprisoned there. Now let's discuss the literary devices. The rhyme scheme used over here is AB, CB, cars and stars. And the enjambment, you can see the third line continues to the fourth line without any punctuation mark. You can see there, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Then we have alliteration, the use of sound H in the starting of two words. We also have assonance, use of the I sound with his brilliant. Now we come to an end of the explanation. Hope you